Welcome back to Hideaway Homestead. Tonight we're going to give you some ideas about how you can save money, and with all the rising prices of groceries and really everything that we have to have these days is going up in price. So we're going to give you some ideas about maybe how you can save some money and still have good stuff.
Yes, for meals especially. We're going to talk about meal planning, and this is something that we have done since we were first married, I think.
Yes,
yeah,
for a long time.
Very often we do it together, sort
Yes.
of a planning day or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
We started out planning for a month at a time.
Yeah.
We would sort of lay out our entrees. We call them menus, but it's really the main entree that we're planning for that night. And we'll give you a couple of the ideas of how we go through that thought process. These days, we usually do it for a week at a time, and usually do that before our Thursday night date night, which is going to the grocery stores. And
Yes.
so we get to spend that quality time together at
Oh,
Aldi
yes.
and Walmart every Thursday night almost. So anyway, we try to plan for the meals for the week upcoming at least. But when we had more people at home or more activities going on, then often we planned it for the whole month. So let's dive in and talk about what we do or how our thought process is. I'll have to check my notes here because I wrote lots of notes while we were brainstorming earlier today. We are blessed that we have the opportunity to choose what food we eat.
Yes, we
And
do.
I don't want to take that for granted ever. There are a lot of people who are on very, very limited incomes and have very limited food products that they can afford to buy at all, or parts of our world where they don't have food available.
Right.
We have food available and have enough money that if we plan carefully, we can have some good variety in our meals.
Yes.
So one of the things that we do is to take a calendar, and this is one from a year or two ago, so don't look at the dates. This is a random month. But what we did a long time ago is I took these little Post-it notes and wrote some of our favorite entree items on here. So you need to be thinking and writing down below in the comments section things that are your family favorites or that you like to serve at your house, or what you would like to eat if somebody cooked for you. But here's a couple of things on here. You just read them across there.
Oh my goodness, there's all kinds of things on here. It's a pretty full page. There are wings, chicken wings obviously, London broil, ham, fish, cube steak, one of my favorites.
Yes, it is.
Barbecue pork, egg roll in a bowl.
Just had that last night.
Yes, meatballs, shrimp, pork chops, another of my favorites, chicken breast, chicken salad, fried chicken, sloppy joes, pizza, pork roast, shepherd's pie, turkey, stuffed cabbage, fried chicken sandwiches, breakfast foods, chicken packets, beans and rice, and there's some others on here
Yeah,
too.
they're all covered up.
They're all covered up, so yeah.
But we found that it's easy for us to just use these as Post-it notes and place them on the calendar just to get an idea of maybe what we would have in a week. But
For whatever day of the week it is.
okay, so that has served us well, but there are other things that we like to do. We like to alternate between poultry and red meat or fish,
Yes.
something like that. And there again, this is just, it almost sounds wrong to have that opportunity that we can have those choices. But since we do, and if we plan ahead, then maybe we can alternate. So where on this random thing, I have several meals that we like out of chicken, made out of chicken parts. And so we don't want to usually plan chicken wings and then chicken breasts the next week,
Right.
or the next day, and then chicken nuggets and chicken and rice, unless it's just a chicken week and that's all we have or something.
Yeah.
So we would want to alternate that. When we were planning our meals for this week, we were going to have sloppy joes, and also we had chosen barbecue pork sandwiches for a few days down the week. Then I saw this idea of fried chicken sandwich, sort of like a Chick-fil-A, and we really like that. It's a lot cheaper to do that at home with my little Chick-fil-A recipe kind of a thing. But we didn't want buns 3 days in a row or something like that. So we just try to take a look at it and say, is this too much of a good thing right here together? So we alternate that. We also alternate cuisines. So not all Italian. We try to stay away from a lot of red sauce in a row just for our digestion, but not all rice or not all pasta in a row. Those kinds of things, they get a little repetitious there. So we try to vary that also. We schedule around holidays. So if we know that Thanksgiving is coming up, we could probably select that date on the calendar and plan around a meal. For us, it's going to be turkey on that day. So, or if we have family activities coming up, a birthday celebration or something like that. A lot of days we plan around my work schedule. There's certain days of the week where we have to have a fast turnaround.
Yes.
By the time I get home, this is recorded on a Wednesday night, by the time I get home at 5:30, we have to be at church by 6. So that gives us a 15-minute drive and 15 minutes to shove food down. So on those days, we plan something that Kevin can have hot and on the table. As soon as I walk in the door, we can sit down and eat, shove food in, or shovel, or whatever you call it.
Inhale it.
Yes, okay. Those kinds of things. But we plan ahead, knowing that a Wednesday night is going to be a fast turnaround kind of a night. The other thing that we plan ahead for is Sundays. Usually, most Sundays, I have more time to cook long time menus. So a turkey this week is coming up. We're going to go ahead and cook a turkey. We're sharing food with a meal with some families at church. And so that gives me the time to get that turkey baked, where on a weeknight, I don't have that kind of time after work. Lasagna is something that I enjoy, but it takes me a long time to put all those layers together and make the meat sauce and all that kind of thing. So Fridays, we go out to the farm, and so I try to plan limited ingredient menus for our entrees, I guess we should call them, for those days. So it might be something like spaghetti sauce out of a jar, some ground beef, and some pasta, and we've got a meal, and I don't have to bring 10 different items to measure out once I get there, and we can eat quickly. You want to pull up that flyer? Yeah. We try to shop from the grocery store ads. If something is on sale that week, then to buy it when it's on sale. Recently, I haven't seen very many things that were on good sales to me. I guess my brain hasn't caught up with inflation, and I keep waiting for them to go back to old prices so that, but if you do see a good deal on there and can buy it up ahead of time, then use that. And maybe you've been waiting for something. A couple weeks ago, they had cube steak on sale, and we bought a lot of it because Kevin, like you said, that's one of his favorite. We try to plan for what's in season, fruit and vegetable wise, or what's in our garden. So if we're bringing in a lot from our garden of a particular thing, if it's tomatoes, and I wish it was right now because I really like tomatoes. We haven't done well with them yet this year, but something like tomatoes are coming in, then we're going to try to have some menu items that will go well with
Mhm.
sliced tomatoes or something like that.
If you eat in season also, it's a little less expensive
Yeah,
to buy the stuff that's in season at the time rather than something that's, you know,
shipped in.
yeah.
Yeah.
If you're buying stuff in the winter, but you're buying stuff that usually grows in the summer, it's going to cost you more.
Yeah, definitely
And so
does.
we try to make sure that we eat the vegetables and fruit or whatever it is
Mm-hmm.
that's in season at that time, and that way we save a little bit of money that way too.
Also, I'm just this weird way. I really don't like stew or soups in the summer
In
when
the
it
hot
is
months.
so hot here. We tend to eat more dinner salads.
Salads in the summer.
A chef salad or
Right.
some other kind of a cold meal in the summer. And then in the winter, we don't eat the salads as
Right.
much, but we eat the soups and the
Stews.
stews and
Yeah.
the casseroles. So as hot as it is here in Florida, that works out for us.
Yeah.
A lot of weeks, I will ask Kevin, what are you hungry for? And
Yeah.
what do you always say?
It doesn't matter to me.
Yeah, he says that a lot. Doesn't matter to me. That doesn't help.
I eat anything, so
Yeah.
it's
That's true. Which is a blessing that we don't have to only limit ourselves to 3 things that you like to eat.
right.
Especially if those were the expensive things. But
Yeah.
a lot of times he does say cube steak or pork chops, and chicken nuggets.
Chicken nuggets are good. Oh yeah.
Someday we're going to have to put another cooking thing up for us, cooking our chicken nuggets, because they're our favorite. But sometimes I'll see an ad on TV, pizzas. After a while, pizza just sounds good to me.
Mm-hmm.
We don't eat it a lot, but sometimes those stretching out that mozzarella cheese on some commercial, and I was like, okay, this week
That looks good.
we have to have pizza. Or sometimes pizza is a fast meal for us.
Yeah.
When we've been working out at the farm all day or something like that, to be able to stop and pick up a pizza and not have to mess up the kitchen. But this week, actually, we planned that on our menu because we knew Saturday was going to be a really busy day for us. If your budget is tight or your finances are tight at a particular time, start looking at these lists and say, okay, what do we have in the house already? Maybe in our food preps, our food storage, our freezer, things that we've canned, things that we had leftovers for, and let's work them into the menus. Some weeks we go out to the freezer and Kevin is forever saying we've got to clean out this freezer. And so he'll start hauling things out and say, okay, we've got this pork roast already cooked, and we've got shepherd's pie already cooked, and we've got this chicken dish already cooked, and we can pull those out, and it's like a week of no cooking.
Oh yeah.
It's great.
It really is. Yeah.
And
saves a lot of time.
and we don't have to go shop
Oh yeah.
for very much at all.
Right.
We can we've got our main dish especially maybe already made from where we cooked extra in the past. So it saves us money at the grocery store. If we're tight that week, we can just work out of the things that we already have ready to go or out of our stockpile. On that topic, we like to save leftovers for future meals.
Yes.
We have several newer recipes to us that cook a larger quantity than the 2 of us are going to eat in a meal. What was it you made? Well, tonight you made quiche.
Quiche. Yeah.
And a big old quiche for the 2 of us. We're going to be having that for lunch and for other meals for quite a while, and maybe even sharing with some friends or future friends. But things like that, then we have it ready for another meal. A couple of our chicken recipes or Salisbury steak. We love getting out a Salisbury steak out of the freezer, and took quite a while to make. That's another Sunday meal for me because it just takes a long time to make that up, but then we've got it in the freezer to have for the future. Crock pot meals are really nice, but you do need to plan ahead. I need to plan ahead for crock pot meals because we need to take the meat out usually the night before so it's thawed to put into the crock pot and have it ready at mealtime. But if we're doing an instant pot meal, that I have learned you can cook right from frozen, so that if you didn't plan ahead, then that's something. But putting it on your calendar like this, then you can plan ahead and know that the night before we need to take the chicken leg quarters out so that we can put them in the crock pot in the morning and have them for a meal. We do like to have a standby meal available. Recently we had a wonderful idea on our menu list, but time got away from us and it was just going to be wearing us out, overwhelming, something like that, to come and put all those ingredients together after a really hard day on the farm, I think it was. And so we were able to pull out a prepared meal that might not be the best nutrition, sometimes they are, but to have something on standby can work. Even if you've got your perfect calendar planned out for the month, you still might want to have something. Something that we have found is this chicken chow mein. It has the meat and the vegetables in here, or the meat and gravy in the top little can, and then the vegetables and stuff are in the bottom can. And we put this with even one of those packets of 90-second rice, is what I call them, that you put in the microwave, and we can have a meal on the table in less than 5 minutes, probably, and very few dishes and very good nutrition. And then, as I mentioned, the spaghetti meal, that can be usually made up in a hurry. But I suggest that you stock your home with a lot of good staple ingredients. We have come to love the instant mashed potato mixes. Here is something I pulled out today from our pantry, cooked ham. So if you don't have time to thaw something, you can open this cooked ham and make something out of something like that in a hurry. But if you've got your side items, all the canned goods, what kind of things do we pull out of there for?
Oh, green beans, corn, peas, green peas, cream corn, all kinds of things.
All kinds of other beans or baked beans, something like that. So if you've got those things, if you've got the rice, you've got these quick cooking mashed potatoes, you've got different types of pasta, you can put together a meal for very little money and get creative with it. We got quite creative with some leftovers the other day, and an old story from our long marriage is sometimes Kevin will say, "What is this that we're eating at supper time?" And I say, "This is supper. It's something that I stirred together out of what was in the fridge or something like that, and we call it supper." And either that or you list all the ingredients. He hasn't died from any of those yet. Not yet. Planning your meals ahead of time, planning for what you enjoy eating, is going to save you a lot of time, frustration, and money too. If you have things planned seasonally, plan for what's on sale, plan for what your family will eat, planned leftovers. Other thing that I thought of today to suggest is that you keep your favorite recipes handy. So, and if you're going to keep your recipes handy, I do really suggest that you put some of your favorite things on a Post-it note kind of thing like this, because then you can just rearrange them as life happens. And now we have a ball game we have to go to, so we're not going to have time for this meal, but we can substitute that one. Instead of on Wednesday, that one's now going to be on Tuesday, something like that. But you've got it planned and you've got it in your mind. You can get the meat out ahead of time to thaw and those kinds of things. Now we have started doing a list of the days of the week based on what we have happening. So just for your curiosity, this week has Sloppy Joe's, grilled chicken or chicken nuggets, and pizza, and then Sunday we're cooking turkey to share with some people. Mondays, a lot of times we do breakfast food for our supper. Cube steak made it to the list this week. Yes, you're a happy camper. Wednesday night meal, barbecue pork sandwiches. We've already got the pork cooked. He's got to just put it on buns and we're good to go. Baked chicken and rice, and then we have some mullet that we're looking forward to having
Saturday.
On Saturday, a week from now. So just some ideas of ways that we're using this and that we've used it in the past. But if you think ahead of time, I think you could get your creative juices going, and if you build your repertoire of good recipes that you like and just cycle them through every month, you're going to have a nice menu going through the year. So.
Yes.
Yep.
It's good. Okay, so thanks for joining us today on Hideaway Homestead. We hope you learned something good from our list of stuff that we're planning.
Oh, but we need to learn from you. Please give all of us your ideas of some of your favorite meals that you didn't hear us mention or that you did hear us mention.
Yes, put it in the comments below. Leave us a comment. Tell us what you're doing or what you're planning to do, that kind of thing, so that everybody that reads our comments can learn from it also.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Yep. Okay, so until next time, thanks for joining us.